Hello and welcome to Three Dudes and a Lady. Join us for a little motivation, a little inspiration, perhaps a way to cope with your day. I am Mike from Virginia, and my gratitude today is having time to spend with family.
Hey, good morning, folks. My name is Earl, residing in the state of North Carolina. And my gratitude for this morning is for the simple things and simple gifts you appreciate from others.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Jay Anderson. I yield from the wild, wonderful state of West Virginia. My gratitude, one word. Ready? Everything.
Hey guys, I am Christine Wright, hailing out of the great state of Florida. My gratitude is exactly what Jay was talking about, change, right? Jay Shetty was talking about adapting to change, right? Letting go is harder, but holding on is even harder. And we all know change is inevitable, right? It's the one thing that's constant in our life, right? It's going to have to happen. Um, and it can be hard for us to even adjust, right? Endings transform into new beginnings. He's talked about a short film called Bao, and it has a Chinese woman making bao in her kitchen. She brings the bao to the table, and the bao comes to life, right? She raises it as it's her own child, and when it becomes older, he wants more freedom and is rejecting her because that's what teenagers do. So nothing stays cute and small forever, right? But the woman actually had a human son that is grown up and he moved out, and that's what she was holding on to still, right? Is her son that actually moved out. She was resisting the change of her son moving out. Sometimes change can leave us feeling sad or adrift or even depressed, right? If, for instance, if you get laid off or moved before you were ready, we dwell too long on the state of nostalgia. This is only preventing us from actually moving forward. The harder we hold on, the harder it is to live in the present and move forward, right? Our emotions are valid, but shouldn't keep you in the same place, right? And change can definitely be the start of something better. When a chapter ends, we need to turn the page to start the next chapter. You guys, this is a really, really good one because we all know change happens, right? Within industries, within our lives, like as we grow older, you have kids, they may be little toddlers, and all of a sudden they're teenagers who do reject you because they want freedom, right? It happens. Moving on to a new career, right? Or like closing a door on a business and opening up a new business. Like it's changed, right? And sometimes, and this was me, this has been me for like the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, moving from one thing to the other, right? Transitioning and trying to change along the way. But it's hard. It's so hard. Like Jay made it sound like it was going to be this easy peasy thing, you just turn the page and change is there, right? But it becomes very hard, and it can become you can become anxious about it, right? Because you're leaving something that maybe meant something to you. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But if a lot of times if it means something to us, then we're closing that chapter to start a new chapter, and the new chapter can be scary, right?
Hey,
We may not be ready for it. Go ahead, Earl.
I want to share something that happened yesterday. And this, I think, hits a bullet point. For those watching, I was having breakfast with my church group yesterday, and our waitress, I'm not going to give out her name, but she's a nice young lady. She's a college student, fresh high school, but she's studying to be a radiology tech, and she's also going to be going through internship. But we could see the ambition look on her face. I mean, it was like half nervous but half excited, and you could tell she's very young, and but at the same time, she's going into something new, but she felt that she had a passion for. And we prayed for her right there at the table, but we also encouraged her. I said, listen, when one door opens, it could be something that can change your life and make you happy. I mean, you did your time here as a waitress, you made new friends, you're just trying to make some money to get through. But when you open up that door, you just never know what that door is going to have. And sometimes change can be a little fearful at first, but once you get comfortable with it, is it could be something that, it could be your calling. That's part of your chapter of life.
Yeah,
And
definitely could.
sometimes young people need to hear that. She had a tear in her eye when we were done talking to her. I could tell she was very happy and blessed to hear that kind of, motivation, because sometimes you need that, you know. And she
Especially
didn't come
when
from
they're young, like, trying to transition from school and working and, transitioning into like their career.
exactly. And she told us, she goes, my family doesn't believe in God and all that. I said, that's on you. I said, we're here to pray for you and help you guide you on your step, because I think you need that encouragement to get through. A lot of young people get scared at first about they're thinking about it. You don't know till you open up that door to see the opportunity that's coming in for you. Because you don't want to be a waitress all your life. You want to be something that you could be passionate about, whether it's kids, medical, whatever it is. Go after it.
Yeah, so true. And like my niece she went to Alaska to work as like an intern type thing. Both my nieces are there.
Yeah,
But the younger one just graduated high school and left like 2 weeks later. She's coming back early. She did not like the change, right? But I mean, at least she handled it for a couple months and, tried it. She's just not happy, right? So she's coming back early, only by a couple months early, but still, like, at least she tried to experience change, whether good or bad, right? The
I
outcome
I
anyway.
think I think the most difficult part of change is you got people like me in their 50s who have to change careers, or for one thing, have to change jobs or whatever it is. And sometimes it's like I'm looking in the rearview mirror. Sometimes you get frustrated about, think about the past and have to open up the new. But don't be that way. Um, just say, I'm just opening up another chapter in my life. I say, be thankful you're still on this earth. Be thankful you're making new friends. Be thankful for all the blessings that you have in front of you. And I had to hear that yesterday. So
Yeah, so true. Jay, Mike,
So I think uh, part of what Jay Shetty was talking about with the movie was, the joy of watching something grow, right? Or a child. And you kind of miss it with your own children, I believe, because you're busy with your careers and so forth. But man, is it fun to watch grandkids
yeah.
and to watch them develop and attitudes and a little sassiness sometimes, but
No way. No way.
yeah, I can get bossed around by a 3-year-old. I admit it.
This is a very layered subject to me. And listen, change is the only true constant that we have.
Yes.
We don't like to face that. Most people don't. There are some that enjoy change. I've relinquished to I enjoy it. I've been around it. As the crazy part, all of us have been around it. So it's if you can open your mind enough to say, look, change is inevitable. It happens on a daily basis. We don't recognize it a lot of times. And it is the big offense. It is what they talked about being nostalgic. When you're being nostalgic, you're going to your warm, fuzzy feeling place. You think of that past because it was safe to you, and that's the warm, fuzzy feeling that you get. So, to me, adapting to change can be a dicey slope. I mean, it really can be. And I think it depends on what the event is or what the change is that's taking place as to how you feel. You know, Earl, you talked about the waitress over the weekend, and you could tell that she was getting emotional and she was being moved. I suspect she was being moved because She had a group of people reassuring her that this change could be a good opportunity. And she needed that. She needed to hear that from a group that was not associated in her life, outside of her normal group, to say, hey, listen, young lady, you're going to be okay. Go for it. And really wonderful encouragement by you guys as a group. I mean, I think that's phenomenal, because a lot of us, that doesn't matter your age. You can be young, you can be older like me and Mike. Just saying, encouragement is always good to have. And I think it's the reassurance of someone else saying, I can understand why you feel this way, but it's still going to be okay. Sometimes change can be tough, and sometimes change is not a good thing. But for the most part, if you try to take advantage of the change and ride with it and figure it out, you're going to be just fine. The good news is change doesn't kill people. It doesn't. You know, it may
Depends if you
lead,
wanted to in a career as being a drug dealer or
it may lead you in a bad direction.
okay.
Yeah,
But
it may lead you in a bad direction, but embracing change is tough. And you know, sometimes talking about it, expressing how you feel about it, and getting reassurance from other people is a good resource for you to tackle.
hey, hey Jay, I just want to tie in something on what you just said, because sometimes changing this, I think this primarily could be for older people as well. Um, that the toughest part is trying not to look at the past and what lessons you learned from it, what you had, and knowing that you had to make change to make things better. But sometimes we can't help but look at the past, and we try to train ourselves not to look at the past because it could reflect up here in our minds, and knowing that we have to change, and it could I don't want to say it's going to be an ugly feeling, but knowing that we have to clear the clutter. We have to clear the clutter to, you know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish in life. And you want to finish on a good note. You want to finish by, being more of a forgiving person, more of a person that can do good for others. And I'm not speaking from like a spiritual point of view, but I'm just speaking from being a human being. All right.
Sure.
So, right. So, I mean, younger people watching this, wait till you get to our age. I'm telling you right now. Things can, you just don't know what's going to happen in life. You can't predict the future. You don't know what's going to happen in life. I mean, you could be in a career for 30 years and all of a sudden you get hurt and then you're forced to change. Or something could happen. You could go out of business and you're forced to change. And that's a painful thing to go through. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that you're broken. It means that you're bent and you just choose the path that you need to be better at. And then this is something that a lot of people don't like to own up to because their egos are so high. It's like, no, I'm stubborn. This is where I want to be. Right. The, you know, this is where we have to put our egos down and accept that change may be necessary in order to fulfill our lives. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to accept sometimes, but the thing is, um, some people more than others have a hard time accepting it.
Well, they do, because accountability comes into play and they don't
Right.
like that.
Bingo. Yeah,
And,
accountability. Thank
and
you. That's what I was looking for.
I think with change, I think you definitely have to go back and evaluate like the last 10 years, right? Or whatever, however long you were in that stint of whatever you were doing, right? I had to recently do this, right? I had to look back to the last 10 years and evaluate like, okay, what did I learn from this? How can I move forward? How do we navigate this? Because sometimes we don't want to look back because it's hurtful, right? Or whatever the case may be. It might not be hurtful, but sometimes it is. Sometimes it could be hurtful of why you're leaving, right? Or why you're taking on a new path, right? So you have to look back to figure out, okay, what did I learn in this situation? What did I learn about myself, first and foremost, and how can I apply that to the future? How can I apply what I've just learned and move forward, right? But we have to move forward, right? We can't, like, I have a habit of, I like change, I'm used to it. Like, if, you don't just pick up and move across the country for no
No, you
reason,
don't.
right?
Yeah.
If you don't like change.
You,
Um,
you, you can like change, Christine. I like it, but the big changes,
yeah,
can they affect me? Oh gosh, can they get inside my head? Ooh, son, listen, I'm telling you, I got people on the left shoulder and the right shoulder that wear my poor brain out.
right, for sure.
And I think a lot of us probably, particularly if you're analytic, if you're analytical and you really try to think things through, change can be tough. But you're right, Christine. I mean, just wait until you get our age. You're just young. I mean, we can help you through all your change, can't we, guys? Come on now.
Nice thing about being our age too is if you accumulate a lot of memories and you get to pick and choose what you want to dwell on.
That's right. That's
And I like
exactly
that
right.
you said to pick and choose what you want to dwell on, right?
Yeah.
Because some things, you can spend more time dwelling on them as long as they're good things, right? You don't want to dwell on the negative or the bad,
No,
you
no.
know.
Guys, I think it's easy to see that we're not licensed therapists, but this one is beyond the rabbit hole. We started digging a hole towards China on this one. I mean, it's one of those things that we could probably revisit every day for the next 2 weeks and really tear this thing apart. We don't need to. This is something that Jay Shetty is just giving us surface level information to make us aware, self awareness. Gosh, change is not easy sometimes. Sometimes it's real easy, but we're all affected differently. So just being aware of the fact that you're around change can be a good thing for you. Please join us every morning on Monday through Friday. We listen to the app Calm. Within that, we listen to Jay Shetty, who we love to hear what he has to say, and then we like to dissect it as only we can dissect. Come join us.
And I hope everyone comes back for more. Please like, share, subscribe for more content, and we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Peace.